morning. Oh my, I have a frog in my throat. It is December 6th and I have just harvested some collard greens. They're a little bit smaller this year. I'm not sure if it's because of the variety or just because of the cool weather. They're supposed to be top bunching. The leaf is not terrible. I mean, it's a nice size, but there are a bunch of smaller leaves. But they look beautiful still, and so that I think is going to be a great harvest. I just harvested a few bags for my neighbor, and I'm looking forward to continuing to harvest good leaves. Hopefully that they'll get a little bit bigger. I have my beautiful kales over here as well. They're smaller on this end, but you can see how they've grown up back there. Here's the Black Magic kale, very much like Dinosaur, but I think it's not as dark green. And here's my Red Boar kale, very beautiful. Look at the purple stem on that. Isn't it gorgeous? These are about up to my knee. They grow tall, not super full. This one's fuller, maybe just because it's shorter. But then there's the White Boar over here. They seem to grow much fuller than the red. And I'll have to harvest quite a few of these here soon because they are ready. See, the stems are a lot closer, the leaves are a lot closer together than on the red. But aren't they pretty? So I'm over here with my cabbages. They're at varying stages. There's that one and then there's that one. I'm not sure why the size difference. Maybe something in the soil, maybe something else, I don't know. This one's a bit deformed, but it's still trying to head up. It seems like this area may not be great because further down are the larger ones that are, I mean, still got some missing areas here, missing spaces, but we will have several nice cabbages this year. I don't think I'm gonna succession plant these necessarily, so we'll be happy with these. I've got my onions over here. They're at varying sizes as well because I planted them at different times. So some will come in a little bit later than others. You can see them all lined up down there. On this side here is my garlic. It might need a little bit more nitrogen. It's kind of yellowing. It's not near ready. And that's how those are doing. Got some tomatoes. Isn't that a pretty, let me turn this around so we're not facing the sun. But let me see if I can get out of the way of the camera, but that's a pretty bush here. These beautiful tomatoes. And like I've said before, our tomatoes have struggled this year. We may replant more in the spring, I'm not sure. Got some more onions here. They're starting to bulb up on this side. These were the first ones that I had planted for the season, so they're going to be much more ahead of the others. I've got my rutabagas over here. They're doing really, really well. Very healthy, very pretty. The greens are nice. The roots are developing. And so I've got some various screens further down in this row, along with my yellow zinnias down there. And then over here, I've got my row of pimentos. They are developing really nicely. Excited, super excited about that. I might need to stake this up a little bit. But we're getting a lot of peppers on these plants. And this is the whole row. It's sown in pimentos. Now over here are my cucumbers. And I have more started in the grow room so that I can replace these plants once they're done. They don't seem to want to last very long. There's a nice cucumber. They're not growing as fast since it's gotten colder. So I've got a little more time before I have to pick these, which is nice because it's easy to miss the harvest on these and then they're just too big. This one's about ready. Looks like we might have gotten a worm in that one, but I don't see an entry. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just some kind of dew from something else. But aren't they pretty? Just pretty. Yeah, so that's how those are doing. These down here are showing some wear, some rust and things like that. So probably won't last too much longer before I have to plant the successors. But we have been getting cucumbers off of these, and they're nice and wonderful and sweet and good. I've got one coming over here on the next row. Oh yeah, I can go ahead and take that one. That one's a nice one. I don't really like to let them get bigger than that. I like them on the tender side. And then the rest of this row is broccoli, another succession of broccoli, and they're doing well. I've got to get out here and finish weeding and just kind of take it day at a time. I love this season because as the weather cools off, things slow down in growth, like weeds, and you know, some of the crops do kind of slow down as well, but it's kind of like everything's in slow motion, so it helps me so that I can keep up with everything at a better pace, and so it's good for me. This is that I harvest initially, they're already growing back and coming back in full heads. We just harvested this section and they're already coming back from the center. And then we have not harvested these. So we have all this lettuce here that we have not harvested, but by the time we get down here in harvesting, then those back there will be up and ready to harvest again. So we've got it kind of on a rotation. The same thing with the reds. These are growing back, the initial cuts. Then we cut those, they're growing back from the center, and we have not cut those. And that's a nice rotation there. We have some beautiful broccoli heads forming. Isn't that nice? Very pretty, encouraging. They're not quite as big as my hand. I don't have small hands, I don't have large hands, but they're coming in, and that's super exciting. We love broccoli. A lot of people love broccoli, and so we're looking forward to that harvest. Our beets, you can see them more readily now, but you can also see where some of the seeds did not germinate, did not make it, because we have big gaps in between. But that's okay, we're gonna have beets, and some of them are still trying to make it. There's that one, you know, it's not maybe that they didn't germinate, but maybe just that they didn't get enough water in that area. I'm not sure. I don't think that would be the case because the other ones seem to be doing fine, and I mean, all of them were watered at the same time. Same in this row. But at least you can see that there are rows. The little carrots over here, they're surviving. You can see the little rows. They're a little bit sparse in places as well, but that's okay. We are gonna have plenty of carrots. And those are the carrots over there that we had initially planted, and they're doing really well. So we've got 2 full rows of carrots, and that's great. And you can see my garlic on this side. On the north side of each row, the onions on this side, the garlic on this side, on either side of the tomatoes. So hopefully we'll get a wonderful garlic harvest this time as well. And over here, let's check on the beans and this is broccoli and beans over here. Now these are a little bit light green. It should be more this color and a little darker. the soil should have plenty of nitrogen in it. So I'm not exactly sure what the deal is. Hopefully they'll recover from that. Just seems like everything is kind of growing a little slow over here especially. But we do have some broccoli coming in this plant. This stuff was planted just maybe a few weeks after that stuff. So it's going to be more behind. You can see the difference between smaller plants versus larger plants. Variations in the soil maybe. I'm not sure what makes that different. This one looks pretty bad. Looks like some sun scorch, but I don't know why it should be that. It's probably just already sick to begin with, and not getting, maybe there's lockup in the roots somewhere. Hopefully there's not nematodes on this side, but that could be an issue as well. More broccoli. And down here, it's funny because these are still in baby stage. I may have had to add these after initial planting didn't make it. I don't remember, but it's possible. Again, these beans, I think these are contender. The other ones are a different variety. They're greener down here. They're nicer green down here. And over here, they're more of a yellowish. So we've got to figure that out. And over here are more broccoli. To kind of brag on my herb garden a little bit. It's looking better than it has in a very long time. Fence line's cleaned up. Inside is remulched for the season. I had bought a lot of mulch to fill these in, and then we got like 5 loads from Davy Tree. They were doing tree trimming for the lines around here, and so I'll have plenty of mulch to keep this mulch throughout the year. But I'm thinking it's looking really nicely, and I'm excited about filling it in with more herbs and making it all really what I wanted to begin with. I really love the idea of an herb cottage garden, and that's kind of my goal in there. It is a lot of work because it's hard to tame nature. And so I've been ahead, I've been behind, I've been ahead, I've been behind. I haven't really made it to the point where I can just maintain it and not have to worry too much about establishing what I want there. But I think I'm much closer now than I was because it looks more attainable. It's much more established now. And I think I'm at the point where I can just kind of maintain it and add things here and there while I learn kind of how to prioritize all the different tasks and things. So that's something that I'm very encouraged about. And let me show you my asparagus as well. It's kind of crazy because in Florida these things never die. And so it's hard to know when to cut them back, but I went ahead and cut them back and they spring right back. Haven't gotten a great harvest of these yet. They're still getting established. It's only maybe their third year maybe. But they are beautiful. And I don't really get any more than just a spear here and there. Maybe a handful sometimes. But this is really not a spear that you would eat. It's more of a frond. So every once in a while, maybe not now, but a couple months ago, I was getting a spear here and there. So I'm pretty sure this is not the season to get spears. But they'll come back in the spring and summer. Anyway, I just thought I'd bring you out here with me this morning because I haven't in a while. Been busy with other things. We've had visitors and everything. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. God bless, and keep on keeping on. Keep planting. Keep putting one step in front of the other, and you know, it'll eventually come out. I'll talk to you later. God bless.